Howdy! This time I'm looking at Brawn, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper and Windcharger. These aren't the actual G1 toys, but rather Keychain Reissues. I've removed the keychains to make reviewing them easier. My final ratings for these will take G1 standards into account, as on a modern grading scale, I wouldn't really recommend any of them. First, Brawn. His vehicle mode is a Land Rover Defender. It looks very nice, with appropriate colouring and some nice moulding, especially with the spare tile on the roof. He lacks paint, but there's some black plastic to break up all that green. The Autobot sticker is a nice touch too. It's a little on the kiddish side proportion-wise, though I expect that with a Minibot. Aside from rolling on all four wheels, this mode doesn't do a whole lot. If anyone thought Animated Lockdown's transformation was unique, well, Brawn's is actually similar in how the sides of the vehicle form the legs. All you do for the arms is pull them out and flip them around. Brawn's robot mode definitely shows its age. He has spindly, lanky proportions which work against his character. The arms look especially wimpy. Still, he isn't all bad in this mode. He's got a nice colour scheme and some stickers so he doesn't look as bland. The mould detailing is still nice, and I like the silver painted head, though it does look a bit dronish. Whilst he has points of articulation, you can't really get him to stand in many poses, other than standing up straight. And the doors don't really lock in any way. Overall, I'd say he's the weakest of the four. Next, Bumblebee. He's a Volkswagen, and no other Bumblebee has been one since, due to Volkswagen's refusal to use their cars as war machines. He pretty much has the same pluses and minuses as all the other Minibots. A nice colour scheme, and one that is fitting for the name, little paint detailing, and some nice moulding. The hood design easily makes this recognisable as a Volkswagen. The stickers are neat, though the flower pattern on the back looks a bit out of place. The proportions are pretty kiddish in how the car is as wide as it is long. It rolls along on its wheels, like Brawn, but that's all this mode does. The transformation is pretty clever considering the toy's size. Though the arms appear on the same level, the axles they're connected to are not. Bumblebee's robot mode is another that reveals the toy's age. He has a fat body, large feet, and spindly limbs. He also has even less articulation than Brawn. His shoulders can rotate a full 360 degrees. His head can look down and up, and the feet can move. But the latter two are really meant for the transformation. The colour scheme is still nice, with yellow being broken up by black. The detail on the face is well done, both mould-wise and with the use of silver paint. Whilst any fan of the character would want this toy, I'd put him in third place, ahead of Brawn. Moving on to Cliffjumper. He's actually a completely different mould to Bumblebee, despite what appearances and the transformation might suggest. His alt mode has been designated as a 1981 Porsche 924. He has the same general pluses and minuses as Bumblebee, stubby proportions, fair moulding, and hardly any paint apps. I like the look of Cliffjumper better though, since I prefer red as the main colour of a Transformer, as opposed to yellow. Again, the robot mode has all the same positives and negatives as Bumblebee, except that he isn't as fat proportion wise. I also like the head moulding better. Overall, I'd say he's second best. Finally, Windcharger. He is a Pontiac Trans Am, and it doesn't look as kiddish as the other three alt modes. Paint detailing isn't really any better other than the black on the rear, but there's some nice moulding all round. The Autobot sticker is once again a neat touch, and its colour scheme is good, but it's a bit too similar to Cliffjumper's. If it weren't for the shape of the car, from a distance it'd be hard to tell the two apart. The transformation is fairly simple. Just pull out the arms and fold out the rear to form the legs. Windcharger's robot mode is arguably the best looking of the four. He lacks an actual face, and his hands are just etched onto the end of his stick-like arms. But he has the best proportions, and like Brawn, he's got some great moulding on his robot body. Articulation is about average for a mini-bot. Whilst he can move at the knees, that's another case where it's really for transformation purposes. Because if you bend one of his knees and try to get him into a walking pose, that happens. Despite all his little flaws, I think he's the best of the bunch. Overall, if you're into the modern figures, don't bother with these. But if you're interested in picking them up for a G1 collection, don't pay any more than £3 or £4 for each one. Next I'm reviewing Universe Ironhide. Until then, till all are one.